So we were discussing about Kamma, right? Kamma Chatuka. We did Kicha Kamma Chatuka, right? Sankicha. And we had in Kicha Kamma Chatuka we had Janaka Kamma, Upathambaka Kamma, Upapilaka Kamma, Upakhataka Kamma, right? Then we discussed a bit about each. And then we enter the Pakat Dana Pariyaya Kamma Chatuka, right? Kamma, 4 types of Kamma according to the order in which they produce results, right? Then in these Chatuka, in this Tetrad, we had also 4. Remember? We had, sorry? According to the order of giving result. First is Garuka Kamma, right? As soon as we accumulate this Kamma, it takes priority. It has priority, right? Okasa Ladha Kamma, right? Or Ladha Okasa Kamma, no? And so we had Garuka Kamma, and then we discussed in more detail what are the Akusala Garuka Kammas, remember the Anantariya Kammas and Niyatami Chatuka. And then Kusala Garuka Kammas, which are the jhanas. Remember? We discussed them. So now we have, after Garuka Kamma, we had Asana Kamma, Kamma done before death or recollected before death. Remember that? Yes. And then we discussed, even though it's weaker than the habitual Kamma, because it is near death, it's like that cow, the weak cow, right? That's right by the door. So when the door opens, it's the first one to leave, right? Yeah. So that's the Asana Kamma. And then we had Achina Kamma, habitual Kamma. Habitual Kamma, also Kusala or Akusala. This is a Kamma done once and recollected many times, or performed multiple times. We discussed about Achina Kamma a bit. Okay, let me put this Kamma Chatuka. We had Garuka. We finished discussing Garuka. And then Asana, near death. Then we had Achina, habitual Kamma. And Katata Kamma, right? Katata Kamma. Okay, we discussed mainly about Garuka. Okay, Asana also not that much information. Is a Kamma done near death or recollected near death, right? So it gets priority even over the Achina Kamma. So the Achina Kamma is done habitually for a long time, repeatedly, or recollected many times. So if you can only do one Kamma, you can remember it many times, right? And then it becomes Achina Kamma. Has priority, gets stronger, right? With the aparachetanas. Remember? Kammapathas, they are completed, or we can say they are complete with the Pubba Chetana and Munchana Cheta. Then already Kammapatha becomes complete. The aparachetana just affects it, makes it stronger or weaker. Okay? Katata Kamma is normally Kammapathas, Kammas that have been accumulated. Actually, any Kamma is Katata Kamma in a certain way, right? But here we will consider Katata Kammas those that are not Garuka, Asana or Achina. Then they are Katata Kammas. Okay? So they can produce rebirth, Patisandhi. And they can also do the other functions, Patambaka, Upapilaka, Upaghataka. So this was a Pakat Dana Pariyaya Kamma Chatuka. Pakat Dana Pariyaya. So there is this information, nice, useful, is that any Kamma in a past life is a Katata Kamma. Because if you think here, Garuka Kamma, it has the priority in this life. The jhanas, right? They have, in the present life, they have the priority, right? But then, if they don't produce result, then finish, they become ahosi. They cannot produce result anymore. Okay? Today is a little strange, right? Hello, 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 hello. Maybe this off. Okay, so these actually in the present life. Yeah. Katata is any past life kamma will be katata kamma. Okay? So you can say like this, katata kammas, you can have katata kammas in the present life. Some kammas that are not garukasana or achinna are katata. Or any past life kammas are katata. Okay? Because they become ahosi if they don't give result. Right? For example, the achinna kamma of the past life, if it doesn't produce result, then it is that achinna nature now is just katata. Right? Katata. Okay. These are, yes, these are actually janaka kammas we're talking about, mostly about janaka kammas. No? Then there is this interesting questions. Animals. Think of the situation of animals or those in apaya. They cannot do garuka kammas. Remember? They can hold to niyata michaditis maybe. But for example, matughataka is only between humans. If an animal kills its mother, it's not this garuka kamma. Okay? Still unwholesome, but it's not garuka kamma. So they cannot attain jhanas, right? So they may not have this garuka kamma, probably. Maybe niyata michaditi, maybe. But asana kammas they may have, but usually in apaya they are accumulating unwholesome kammas. For example, animals are killing often to eat. Every day they kill. So that's a habit, right? So they already have probable achinna akusala kammas. Their habits are normally akusala. So how can they come out of this condition as an animal? It's a bit difficult, no? It's difficult, right? They need maybe some kusala asana kamma before death, right? Otherwise, it's a bit difficult because their habits, I don't think they have kusala habits, no? Bit difficult, right? So it's quite difficult to come out of the animal realm. Unless they may have no habits somehow, find it also a little difficult, no? If they have no habits, no achinna kamma, then some katata kamma of the past life can give result, for example. Right? Because here you have from the past. You have plus from the past, right? These are just in the present. Present. So only, let's say, a kusala kamma in the past can help them out of the apaya only if there are no garukasana and achinna kammas. It's a bit difficult, right? I think especially achinna kammas, they probably kill regularly, for example, animals, right? So it's a bit difficult, that situation of being in apaya, right? Mostly I think there are stories where they have some asana kamma, they see the Buddha or something, and then they die, right? Then that takes them to Deva realms, for example. Yes, that frog. Remember there was that frog. There was a monkey in the Jatakas, I think. The horse of the Bodhisattva, when he renounced. That white horse, right? He also died after the renunciation, and he was born in Sugati. Right? Okay. you like this today? Okay, let's go to Pakakala Kamachatuk. Pakakala. Okay, this tetrad, we have kammas according to when they produce result. Pakakala, when they produce result, right? So then you have those that produce result in this life, those that produce in the second life, and those that produce indeterminate, like any future life until parinibbana. And then you have those that cannot produce any result that are ahosi kamma. So ditta dhamma, vedaniya kamma. And we have then upapajja, vedaniya kamma, apara pariyavedaniya kamma, and ahosi kammas. Okay. So under ditta dhamma vedaniya kamma, ditta dhamma, this one can be kusala or also akusala kammas that have the first javana very strong. So this is the first javana. We have, for example, the first javana, right? For example, we have the viti, let's say a manodara viti, and we have 7 javanas. We may or may not have tadaramanas. May or may not have tadaramanas. So this first javana over here is our ditta dhamma vedaniya kamma. Okay? So these javanas, they have a certain strength. So I'll already talk about their strength. This first javana has a weaker strength. Okay? This is the strength. Strength. Okay? This first javana is the weakest. The weakest. The second, because of asevana pachya, it becomes a bit stronger. Asevana pachya. Remember? Now we studied asevana pachya. Remember? Javana chittas support the next javana with this asevana pachya. Javanas of the same nature. So kusala supports kusala, akusala supports akusala. I think Kirya also supports Kirya, right? Yeah, there's no vipaka. Okay? So they support each other. So this first javana is just preceded by manodvara vajana. So it's the first of its nature, let's say. So it's the weakest. Okay? Then the next one already has the asevana pachya of this weak chitta. It becomes a bit stronger. The third one has again asevana pachya and it becomes even stronger. And the fourth is the strongest. Here's when the viti reaches its peak power. Okay? If this were jhana viti, then the gotra buchitta would have to either be the fourth or the third. Because you cannot, once the viti starts to decline in strength, you're not able to enter the higher chitta, which is the jhana chitta. Okay? So these two are the two which lead to the jhana chitta. The only two possibilities over here. So, but this is Kamavachara, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chittas. This is the strongest. And then the viti starts to decline. The next chitta will be weaker than the fourth, but still stronger than this one, you see? This one. The next chitta will be weaker than this, but higher than this, so about here, you see? And the last chitta will be weaker than the second, but a little stronger than the first, so around here. Okay? So in terms of strength, this is the weakest. Yes, weakest. This is the second weakest. Okay? The third weakest is this. Third weakest. This is the fourth weakest. This is the fifth weakest. Sixth weakest. And the strongest. Okay, seventh weakest. The strongest. Sorry? Must? I didn't understand.
You say seventh weakest.
Ah, yeah.
It seems like most weakest.
Most weakest. The seventh weakest. No, I just put the strongest. Okay, it's clearer. So this kamma over here, whether kusala or akusala, can be the ditta dhamma vedaniya kamma. Okay, ditta dhamma vedaniya is the first javana. Okay, so this is the weakest. So normally when we perform kusala or akusala kammas, this javana is not strong enough to produce results in this life. Okay, so there is this principle which is not fully explained, and it's this: that a stronger kamma, it can produce, how can you say it, lasts longer. It can produce result for a longer period. It can produce results for a longer period. Okay, but it also takes longer to, let's say, to mature. To mature. So what does this mean? This is the weakest, right? So it can only produce result if it does in this life. So this, in terms of that first principle, it lasts only this in this very life. The power of this javana. Okay? Ditta dhamma vedaniya can only give result in this life. After that, it cannot give result anymore. It becomes a hosi. So it's like weaker. In this respect, it's weaker. But it doesn't take long to be able to produce results. Do you understand? So if I put it here, for example, the first javana, it can produce results in this life. If we have here one life, okay, this is the present life. The first javana can only produce results over here, right? The seventh javana can produce result in this second life. So this means that its power lasted longer, you see? Even though it takes longer to be able to mature, to be able to produce results. And then the remaining 5 javanas, intermediate 5 javanas, they can produce result from here onwards until parinibbana.
Not 5 times, right?
5 times?
Whatever.
The 5 middle javanas?
Yeah, not 5 times. Like the one javana can give result only one, and then the second result.
So they can produce only one patisandhi each. Yes, but they can produce multiple pavati vipakas. So if this one cannot produce patisandhi, because it's only in this life, so it can only produce pavati vipaka. Okay? This one, which is the second weakest, a little stronger, can produce the next life patisandhi or pavati vipaka. But if it does, it can only do one patisandhi.
One patisandhi and then pavati also can.
Yes.
One javana can perform
one Patisandhi and multiple Pavati. Multiple Pavati.
In one life. In the next life.
No, not in one life. If one Javana, okay, let's put this as a principle. One Javana, any Javana, one Javana can only produces maximum one Patisandhi. Okay, one Patisandhi, but it can produce multiple Pavati Vipaka in any life. But wait, not in any life, you have to also consider this. The first Javana can produce Pavati Vipaka over here. The seventh Javana can produce Patisandhi or Pavati Vipaka only over here. And these five, they can produce Patisandhi or Pavati Vipaka until Parinibbana, from the third life onwards. This is with Janaka function. But as soon as you accumulate, let's say all these Javanas, they can act as Upatambaka, Upapilaka, Upagataka from the moment you accumulated them.
Okay,
so this is with regard to Janaka function. You understand?
First Javana, seventh Javana, and middle
Yeah.
Javana.
Okay. First Javana, seventh Javana, and the five middle Javanas, okay?
The first Javana can give only Pavati, right?
Yes.
Multiple times.
We'll put that like it's coming. It will come. Pavati Vipaka? The first Javana? Yes, multiple times. In this very life. Yes.
You mean that second, third, and fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh?
Yes, these?
Yes.
Okay.
Except seven.
They are the intermediate.
Except fourth.
Yes, intermediate five Javanas. Okay.
How it become five?
Because we have seven Javanas. The first is Dittadhamma Vedaniya. This one is Aparaparaya, Upapadya Vedaniya. This one is Upapadya Vedaniya. And these are Aparaparaya Vedaniya. Aparaparya Vedaniya Kamma. I'm giving you the whole picture now, but we'll go a little into each one. Aparaparya. Okay? Otherwise, maybe everything together is a little difficult to understand. Okay? Focus now on Dittadhamma. I'll go again into these again, okay? Dittadhamma Vedaniya is the Javana, the Chetana of the first Javana, and it is the weakest in the Viti, so this is why I put this. And only very powerful Kammas have this strength enough to produce results. Understand? Because it's the weakest Javana. So a normal Kamma, let's say a normal strength action, the Javana is very weak and it will not produce result in this life. It won't be strong enough.
Can we say that become Ahosikama? If not.
Once you die, all these first Javanas become Ahosi. But until you die, we don't say they are Ahosi. Okay, they can still act as Upatambaka, Upapilaka, Upagataka, I think.
What is the Patisandhi of the venerable Deva?
Devadatta? Patisandhi? Devadatta, what? Patisandhi? Tihetuka Patisandhi.
No, when he passed away.
When he passed away, then it was the seven, Upapadya. No, not the Dhamma. This one. This produced the immediate next life. Okay? So, what else? Yes, this is the weakest. So, normally in normal actions, you can imagine normal actions, this will be very weak. Okay? Relatively, it's the weakest position. So only in a very powerful action, this will be strong enough to produce results in this life as Janaka. And then it can only produce Vipaka Chitta Chittasikas. It will not produce Patisandhi, just Impavati, and no Kamajarupas. Okay? So it will last during this period over here, during this present life. Tadama Vedaniya. I sent to the group my notes. So today's class, you can check those notes and follow with that if you want. Yes. So under this Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya, we have remember the conditions for giving that dana which produces the Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya results. Remember? We discussed in Dhammanuloma and in fundamentals, I think several times, even in Khuddaka Nikaya, I think it appeared. So remember, if you have 4 conditions, no, for this dana to have a Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Vipaka. Yes, remember this? We have 4 conditions for Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya dana, okay? Dana. It can also be akusala, or another kamma can also produce result, but this is about the dana. So we need the deya dhamma. So the object, deya dhamma. Deya dhamma must be pure. So the object we are offering must have been acquired righteously. Should not have been stolen or acquired by lying and so on. So the next one is the chetana, the mind of the giver. Person must have strong faith in Kamma Vipaka. So that also shows jnana. So there is jnana and there is strong saddha. Okay? So the deya dhamma is one. The other is the chetana. I think sampada or sampati. There are different names for these factors. Then it must be anarahat. Remember these? The vatu, or also called keta. Keta. Keta sampatti or sampada. And the last one is gunatireka. So I'll put here is a object acquired righteously. We have here strong faith in Kamma. Here we have an arahant as a recipient, and not any arahant, but he must have emerged, yes, from Nirodha Samapatti. Samapatti. Okay? So these are the 4 conditions, for example, for the Dhamma too. Then that Dana for sure gives result in this life. Okay? Other kammas can also give result in this life. We may not even notice. But this is a very strong, very clear result. Okay? And it's sure. It will surely give result. Okay? But not only this one is Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya kamma. Okay? Other kammas can also be Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya. Yeah, this is in terms of dana. Here I put some examples on the notes of kusala and akusala ditta dhamma vedaniya. Kusala, for example, punakaseti or ekasataka brahmin. No, only one robe, remember? And Sumana, the garland maker, I think he threw some flowers at the Buddha, even at the risk of his life, something like that. So he also had. Akusala Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya, there is 3 examples I have here. King Kalabu, King Mahapatapa, and Mittavindaka. I don't remember all these stories, but I think we discussed them. Kalabu, Mahapatapa, and Mittavindaka. So you can look for them. If you find them, send them to me, please. Okay, so this is the Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Kamma, okay? Not only this, but also other kammas, if they are strong enough, they can produce results in this life, okay? We'll go into detail about what type of results it produces, okay? A little later. Also Anagami? I think it's only Arahant, no? Also Anagami? Yeah, Anagami. For me, I have it, Dhammapada Takata says is an Arahat. Dhammasangani, I only have it as Arahat. Where do you have this information? Also Anagami? Also Anagami? Or Arahanta? See, yeah, both can attain Nirodha Samapatti, but for these conditions, is it also included? Yeah, maybe you send it to me, but I haven't seen it yet. I have it as being an Arahanton. Okay. So this was Upapaja Vedaniya. No, Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya. Now Upapaja Vedaniya. Upapaja Vedaniya. What? Upapaja Vedaniya is the 7th Javana. So we have here the 7th Javana. So we have here this 7th Javana. Okay, this Javana over here can produce results after on the next life. So in this present life, it cannot produce result, and here it can produce results. Here in the second life, it can produce results, you see? Okay, it can produce Patisandhi, yes. It can produce the Patisandhi in this life, and it can also produce, of course, during Pavati. If it produces Patisandhi, you already understand it produces Bhavanga Chittas and Chuti Chittas. So that's also Patisandhi and Pavati. If it doesn't produce Patisandhi, it can still give results in Pavati. Yes.
Many times.
Yes, many times.
One Javana.
One Javana can do many times. Yes. Okay, so Patisandhi and Pavati.
In the next line for the 7 or the 7th Javana.
7th Javana? What? 7th Javana?
Only the next life, right?
Yes, only in the subsequent life.
The subsequent life.
The immediately following life.
Many times.
Yes, yes, yes. But from this moment onwards, it becomes Ahosi. Ahosi means cannot produce results anymore. Okay? Here it can be Janaka function, you see? Janaka function. Okay? But during this, from the beginning, it can do the Upatambaka, Upapilaka, and Upagataka functions. The Janaka starts over here.
In the past life, also can produce.
Present life, let's call this the present life. This is the first future life. first future life, okay? Or first subsequent succeeding life.
The seventh Javana
Hmm.
can produce in the present life also.
Only not produce, but it can do these functions. Yes. For example,
Support another.
yeah. For example, let's say you before death, there is some kusala kamma of dana, okay, that you have done habitually, for example, habitual achinna kamma, okay. Then you have some katata kammas that you have done, and this seventh javana, it cannot produce. It may produce the next rebirth, but if it doesn't do that, it can help, can support, can strengthen the other kamma to produce a better result. For example, Ajatasattu, he killed his father, right? Then the Upapaja Vedaniya kamma produced the next life, right? But it was weakened by many kusala kammas he did during his life. So this shows that during that, after accumulating these kammas, they can still do these functions of upatambaka, upapilaka, pagataka from the beginning. Okay? Okay. Papaja Vedaniya. Then aparaparaya vedana. Apara pariya vedaniya, to be experienced in any other, no? So we have 7 javanas, and these are the middle ones. The middle ones. Here. These are the middle ones. And they can produce not in this first life, not in the second life, but they can produce from the third life onwards. Here, they can produce Patisandhi and Pavati, etc., until Parinibbana. Okay? This is the Janaka function. Here it can produce Patisandhi, Patisandhi. Only one Patisandhi each javana, and Pavati. Many Pavatis it could produce. But even before that, it can act as Upatambaka, Upapilaka, Upagataka.
That means only 5 Patisandhi, right?
So only 5 Patisandhis you can get. So in one set of 7 javanas, how many Patisandhis can we have?
7. Oh no, 6.
6. Because this one, no?
And then 5, in this case, 5 Patisandhi and then many Pavati.
Many Pavatis you can have.
Many Pavati mean only 5 life, right? Pavati in 5 life.
No.
Not like
Continue.
if they give 5 Patisandhi,
Yes.
and then there's 6 or 7 also Pavati, give Pavati.
Yes, can still give Pavati in other lives. Patisandhi Pavati until Parinibbana. Okay. So this one, only after Parinibbana they are considered Ahosi. Okay? Ahosi. Then here becomes Ahosi. Okay? So this is indeterminate. It will remain for samsara until the samsara ends, you see? Okay? But then there will be katata kammas. If there is some achinna kamma, some asana kamma, they will not give result. Right? So yeah, here my point in the beginning was that these kammas are stronger, right? These javanas are stronger. So their potential to give result lasts longer. But they take a little longer to mature. You see? They cannot produce Patisandhi in this life. So this is a bit like a question that is I think some people try to answer why they cannot produce, for example, this, if they are stronger, right? So you consider that they take a bit longer to produce result, but their potential lasts longer. Their potential lasts longer. Okay? So the first Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya becomes a hosi when? At the end of the present life. Then the seventh Upapaja becomes a hosi at the end of the second life. And these Aparapariya Vedaniya Kammas become a hosi after Parinibbana. Yes. Yes. Then there are two different types of a hosi. We didn't study in detail, but there are different types of a hosi kamma. A hosi cannot produce results, okay? Cannot produce results anymore. Okay? So for example, Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya at the end of the first life. Of the present life. At the end of the life, it's a period of time, right? Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya. And then we have Upapajja Vedaniya. This one at the end of the second life. And then Aparapariya Vedaniya Kamma only at the end of samsara, right? Samsara. Okay? At the end of samsara. And then there are different types of ahosi. For example, when we attain Sotapati Magga, that Magga can destroy some Kamma. Remember, it's Upagataka. What does it destroy? Akusala Kammas, they would have the chance to produce Patisandhi in the future, right? Katata Kammas, done in the past, Akusala Kammas, would be able to produce Patisandhi. Then Magga destroys this potential. But it's only the potential to produce Patisandhi. It can still produce Pavati Vipaka and Upatambaka, Upapilaka, Upagataka. Yes. This is why Arahants still have results of Akusala Kammas. Yes. May even kill them. Right? Upagataka. Okay? So this is why there are different types of ahosi. So we're going to study them later, Bhante said, but there are some different types. For example, the ones that can produce like Patisandhi Janaka function, ahosi. For example, what I just explained, okay? It's ahosi only in terms of producing Patisandhi. Yes. Then I think there were others. We have to study them later. Bhante didn't give much details on this topic. Pavati Janaka hosi, this is the next one. Patisandhi Janaka, Pavati Janaka ahosi cannot produce results in the Pavati, during Pavati Kala, during lives, no? And there is complete 100% ahosi. Okay? So complete ahosi. Complete ahosi. Okay, this happens at Parinibbana. So there are different types of ahosi. We're yet to study them. Yes. Okay, no? So we discussed the strength of the javanas. Here, okay, a little more is that Ditta Dhamma Vedaniya Kamma Dittadhamma Vedaniya Kamma, this one, it can only produce in this present life. Let's make it yellow like the others. Can only produce during the present life. And it cannot produce Patisandhi, right? Only Pavati. Chitta Chittasikas. Chitta and Chittasikas. Okay? And then what are these Chitta Chittasikas? They will be the Vipakas, Akusala Vipakas, 7, or Kusala Vipaka, 8. So they are Akusala or Kusala Vipakas Ahetukas, okay? Ahetuka Chittas. These are the Chittas that can occur over here. Ahetuka Vipaka Chittas only. Dittadhamma Vedaniya? No, no.
Why when the punna singing,
Yeah,
when it off, the song, it becomes
the gold.
Yeah. Does not include this result, but it occurs by
Only him.
that result. Yeah,
Only him.
Yes, but
Another one cannot see.
Other people cannot see.
Oh, can see.
Can
see, but
but when the minister of the king
but they
say
took
like it is goal of the king's goal.
Yeah, and then
goal
it
become-
changes back, right?
But why we don't consider that goal is rupa?
Result of that.
Yeah, because the goal is
Yes. Because then it's Utujarupa, no? Cannot be Kammajarupa. We are talking about Kamma. So Kamma cannot produce Kammajarupa outside the body. Right? But it can be the Upatambaka. Upatambaka brings the food, the conditions, the house, remember the medicine. Upatambaka brings this, and Upatambaka can affect Utujarupa.
It's like that.
Mm.
We consider the goal is the
Utujarupa.
Produced by the Tetrads.
No, then it would be Kammajarupa. Yeah. Cannot say it's produced by this Kamma.
What should I say?
Bhante, yes. Bhante, as far as I know, he said that these Kammas can affect, but not produce Utujarupa. So, for example, we say that Kammas bring food or good conditions, right? That's the Upatambaka function, right? So if it's not producing that directly, it must act in some way to bring those things. Because think of there is the gold. It's Utujarupa for sure, right? It's not Kammajarupa, not Chittajarupa, not Aharajarupa. It's Utujarupa, okay? Then when he experiences that, when he sees it, when he touches it, then Kusala Vipaka Chittas, then these are Kusala Vipaka Chittas, Ahetuka Chittas, such as Chakku Vijnana or Kaya Vijnana, they occur, right? They are the result of the Dittadhamma Vedaniya. Okay, the Chitta Chittasikas, yes. But other things can just be affected, cannot be produced directly. So the gold, we must say, is Upatambaka. Yes, Upatambaka.
By this Kamma.
Yes, by this Kamma. Yes. It's quite a complex matter, like we discussed to some point, to some extent, but if we start investigating what is what and how things affect each other, it's quite complex, no? So I remember even asking about that, and Bhante just said something like this. This is what stayed in my mind, that they can affect things. Upatambaka and Upapilaka they affect things, even mental states, something like that. Okay, so this was the Tadamma. I think we have finished this section. We can go to the next, Pakatana. Pakatana. Okay, so Pakatana. Okay, Paka. Tana, Kamachatuka, okay? Pakatana. So Tana is the place, right? So the place in which gives result. So we have 4 places, 4 Pakatanas, 4 Tanas. 4 Tanas. 4 Tanas of Kamma Vipaka. Right? 4 Tanas of Kamma Vipaka. They are Apaya. Yes, Apaya Bhumi or Kama Sugati. Kama Sugati or Rupa or Arupa. Arupa Bhumis. Right? So according to these Tanas, we have 4 types of Kamma. We don't call Apaya Kamma. Maybe we could call it, no? Apaya Kamma, something like that. Apaya. But we call it Akusala Kamma. Akusala Kamma is the one that leads to Apaya, right? And then under Kusala Kamma, yes, Kusala Kamma, we can divide it into Kamma, Kamma Vachara, Kusala Kamma, or Rupa Vachara or Arupa Vachara Kusala Kamma. Okay? So these is another 4. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay? So these we are very familiar with them. Akusala Kammas. What are the Akusala Kammas? We can classify them in different ways, right? Akusala Kammas. Remember definitions of Akusala, okay? We can go different directions, right? But in terms of chittas, we have 12. 12 chittas. In terms of Kammapatas, we have 10 Akusala Kammas. And then we could go, our lesson goes into Kammapatas. But I think we have already discussed Kammapatas. We can kind of skip through this or just quickly review it. Remember we had Kammapatas, we had Akusala Kammapatas, Kusala Kammapatas. What were the Akusala Kammapatas? Panatipata, Adinadana, and Kamesmichachara. These are Kaya Dwara, Kaya Kamma. Then we had Musavada, Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampapalapa. They were Vachi Kamma. And then Abhija, Bhyapada, and Michaditi, Manokamma. Yes. Right? And then which of them are done with dosa, which with moha. We already discussed all that long time ago. Yes. So here was a little more about Kammadwaras. You know Kammadwaras? Kammadwaras. This one a little mind-bending. There is Kammadwara, and then you have Kaya Kamma, Kaya Kammadwara, and Kaya Dwara. Right? So even for me, it's a bit difficult, this topic. Kaya, Kammadwara. So Kamma first. Okay. Kaya Kamma, Kaya Dwara, and Kaya Kamma Dwara. Oh. It's a bit confusing, right? At least for me. It's like when we study Manovignana, and Vijnana, Manovijnana, and Manodhatu, and all those terms, right? Okay, so we have Kaya Kamma, Vachi Kamma, Mano Kamma, also the same. So what is Kaya Kamma, Kaya Dwara, and Kaya Kamma Dwara? Kaya Kamma is what we just discussed. For example, Pana, Tipata, Adinadana, and Kame Sumichachara. They are Kaya Kammas. Kammas done with the help of the body. Right? We could also include other Kaya Kammas under this as well. Right? This is Kaya Kamma. Then, in terms of Kusala also, Dana, for example, can be a Kaya Kamma, right? Okay, not difficult. Then Kaya Dwara is the Kaya Pasada, right? So Kaya Kamma, those deeds, no actions done bodily. Kaya Dwara is the Kaya Pasada. Kaya Pasada. Remember we had Dwaras? Chakku Dwara, Sota Dwara, Gana Dwara, Jiva Dwara, Kaya Dwara, Mano Dwara. Right? 6 Dwaras. 5 material, 1 immaterial. Mano Dwara. Right? So this is Kaya Dwara. Okay. What is Kaya Kamma Dwara? This is the Vinyati. Yeah. Kaya Kamma Dwara is the Vinyati, especially the Kaya Vinyati. Yeah. Rupa. Kaya Vinyati Rupa. Kaya Vinyati Rupa. Huh? Kaya Vinyati Rupa. Then Vachi. Vachi. Vachi Kamma. What is Vachi Kamma? Vachi Dwara. This is what I'm not sure what this is. And Vachi Kamma Dwara. Vachi Kamma Dwara. Vachi Kamma is, for example, Musavada. Yes, Musavada, etc. Okay, Musavada. Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampapalapa. I think we could also include any other Kusala Kammas as well. For example, done verbally. Even Dhammadesana, for example, right? If we take Punyakiriyavatus, we can also divide them into Kaya, Vachi, and Mano, right? Okay, so Musavada here, I think not difficult. Vachi Dwara, I don't know. What is Vachi Kamma Dwara? This is the Vachi Vinyati. Do you know what this is? I don't know. I could not find it. Vachi Dwara. What is that? Anybody knows? Huh? Through speech? Through speech? No, these are like kammas done through speech, the first one. So if we compare with this Kaya Pasada, here we have no Pasada. There is no Pasada, no Vachi Pasada, right? So I don't know what could be Vachi Dwara. If you find it, please tell me. I looked and I couldn't find in my notes or anything. Maybe we never discussed about it. Maybe no Vachi Dwara, right? I don't know. Mano we have. Mano Kamma. Mano Kamma are, for example, things done only mentally, right? We have, for example, Abhijja. Abhijja. And from the good side, we have like Bhavana. Right? And then we have Mano Dwara. This one, do you know? Huh? Mano Dwara is the Bhavanga Chitta. Yes. Bhavanga Chitta is the Mano Dwara. Remember? Kaya Dwara, Chakku Sota Gana Jiva and Kaya Dwara, and then Mano Dwara is the Bhavanga Chitta. Right? And then Mano Kamma Dwara. What is this? These are Kusala or Akusala Javanas, Chittas. These are the Manokamma Dwaras. A little confusing, no? For me it is, at least. Okay? And here, interestingly, does not include no Chetasikas. No Chetasikas, only the Chitta itself. Manokamma Dwara. Only Chitta, yeah. So this is a little difficult for me, this subject. So then you have 10 akusala kammapathas, 10 akusala kammapathas according to Hetu. Let's go to kusala kamma. Kamma vachara kusala kamma, okay. And then we go to the kusala kammas. Kusala kammas. Kusala kammas, we have the kamma vachara, right? Kamma vachara kusala kammas. And then we have kamma vachara kusala kammas, for example, we have in terms of chitta, how many do we have? Kamma vachara kusala kamma? Yes, 8 maha kusalas. These are in terms of chitta. We could also have in terms of kammapatha. Kammapatha, we also have 10, right? What are they? Panatipata Veramani, Adinadana Veramani, Kamismichachara Veramani, Musavada Veramani, Pisunavacha Veramani, Parusavacha Veramani, Sampapalapa Veramani, Anabija, Abhyapada, and Samaditi. Okay. Samaditi. Kammapathas. And then we could also have here an extra one, which are the Punya Kiryavatus, right? Punya Kiryavatus. Actually, Punya Kiryavatus also includes Bhavana, which could be jhanas as well. So it's not only Kamavachara, right? But Punya Kiryavatus, we could also divide it into Kaya, Maya, we say Dhanamaya, sorry, not Kaya. Dhanamaya, another classification, right? Dhanamaya, Silamaya, and Bhavana Maya. Okay. This general classification of 3. Okay. What were the Punya Kiryavatus? Let's go list. Okay. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. And then Veyavacha, Apachayana. And then Patidana, Patanumodana, Dhammasavana, Dhammadesana, and Dittujukamma. Okay, there are sometimes some different versions with different orders. Let's put them here. So Dana is here. Sila is here, Bhavana. Next one is Veyavacha. Which one is it? Sila, yes, we have Veyavacha. Apachayana, respect. Also Sila. Apachayana. Veyavacha Pachayana. Patidana. Here. Patidana. Patanumodana is also connected to the dana. Patanumodana. And then Dhammasavana. Bhavana, right? Dhamma, Savana, Dhamma Desana, and then Dittujukamma is here. Dittujukamma. Oh, okay. Actually, for example, Dhammasavana, Dhammadesana sometimes could be considered as a type of dana, right? Your Dhammadana. So it's not very strict classification, but anyways, okay. We have these types of Kamma Vachara Kusala Kamma. Okay. Okay. Continue. Kamma Vachara. Rupa Vachara. Rupa Vachara Kusala Kamma. Rupa Vachara Kusala Kamma. This one, how many do we have in terms of chitta? 5, right? 5. How many do we have in terms of jhana? Also 5, right? Yes. How many do we have in terms of dwara? Yes, just 1, right? They are all mano kamma. And in terms of the dana sila bhavana? Yes. In terms of punya kiryavatu, they are all bhavanamaya. Bhavanamaya. Always bhavanamaya kammas. Rupa Vachara Kusala kammas. Just like that, finished. Arupa Vachara? Easy, right? Let's put it over here. This goes quickly. Arupa Vachara. Arupa Vachara. We have how many is in terms of chitta? 4. Here we can say also in terms of object. How many? 4 as well, right? Okay, in terms of jhana. Huh?
Factor is 1 factor.
Yeah, jhana. Just 1, right? We have just 1, which is the 5th jhana. Yes. And then in terms of what? Dwara. Also 1, the same as the other. And in terms of punya kiryavatu, it's also bhavana. Here 1 is mano kamma. And this is a bhavana. Okay, just like this. A small analysis. Now, we can continue. Results of these kammas. Now we have to start another section. So these are the kammas. Now we go into results. So now we have the results of these kammas. Is it still recording? Okay. So now we enter the results of these kammas. Okay? So first we have akusala kamma. Yes, results. Or vipakas, no? Results. So akusala kamma, no, not vipakachittas. Yes, including vipakachittas, but kamajarupa as well. Chitta chetasikas and kamajarupa. According to Bhumi. So we have akusala kammas. For example, in the apaya, the bhumis we were talking about before, right? So in the apaya bhumi, we always have, when we're talking about results, we need to divide it into patisandhi kana or patisandhi kala and pavati kala, right? So in the apaya bhumi, we have patisandhi moment. Patisandhi we can say moment like kana, or we can also say kala. Now here, what we have 12 chittas, right? 12 chittas. 12 chittas, right? 12 akusala chittas. So in the patisandhi, only 11 chittas. 11 chittas. Yes. This we have to remember. 11 chittas, except uddhacha sampayutta, they can produce what? Patisandhi chitta chittasikas, which will be ahetuka patisandhi. Remember ahetuka patisandhi? Yes, the chitta is akusala, vipaka, upeka santirana. Yes, this is the only one chitta can be patisandhi in the apaya, right? Okay, so this can be produced by these 11 chittas. Okay? Now this uddacha, okay, it will come later. These 11 chittas produce this patisandhi, and they also produce kammajarupas. Kammajarupas in that specific realm. So if it's an animal, the kammajarupas of an animal. If it's in hell, the kammajarupas of a hell being, etc. Okay? All the apaya bhumis can be here, generalized in this way. Now, this is in the patisandhikana. We have pavati. In the pavati kala, we don't say pavati kana. Pavati kala. Then you can have more vipakas, no? More vipaka chitta chittasikas. You can have all the 7. All the 7 akusala vipaka ahetuka chittas, right? You can also have kammajarupa. So 11, why can I put it like this? Pavatikala, 12 chittas produce this. Some other boards you can kind of select something and move it, right? Your iPad. Yeah, this one we cannot do this one. It's not so smart. It's not so smart. So 12 chittas can produce 7. Yeah, I'm thinking about the kusala. 7 akusala vipaka. 7 akusala vipaka. And 7 akusala vipaka. 11 will produce kammajarupa as well. Plus kammajarupa. Uddacha sampayutta cannot produce the kammajarupa, okay? Except uddacha. So these 11 will produce ahetuka patisandhi, kammajarupa during patisandhi, and also during pavati. Then they can also produce these akusala vipaka chittas, here including uddacha sampayutta, right? Okay, right? Now we go akusala kammas in sugati. Yes. So akusala kammas, again, continuing akusala in the kama sugati. Kama sugati. We have a patisandhi moment, patisandhi kana, nothing. Cannot produce anything at patisandhi moment. Pavati kala, we can have, no? When we see anitaramana or some pain, right? Yes. So we can have 7 akusala vipakas. 7 akusala vipakas. When we experience unpleasant objects. Seeing, hearing unpleasant objects, unpleasant sounds, etc., right? Pavatikala. No kammajarupa. Kammajarupa only in apaya, right? Patisandhikana, pavatikala. All of them can do that. All 12 chittas, no differentiation over here. Kama sugati. What about rupa? What about rupa vachara? Kama sugati. Rupa avachara, or rupa bhumi, let's put it as rupa bhumi, a little shorter. Rupa bhumi. In the rupa bhumi, pavati, let's put directly pavati. Huh? Pavati. In the rupa bhumi you can have chakku vijnana, right? Chakku vijnana, sota vijnana, no ghana, no jiva, no kaya. But you can also have sampadichana, and Santirana. So you see four chittas, four akusala vipakas. Sometimes the Brahmas also experience some unpleasant objects. Rarely, but can happen. Pavati. No kamajarupa or anything. Yes. In the arupa bhumi, actually rupa bhumi we should say except asanyasata. Right? Asanyasata, they cannot experience these chittas. So, if they cannot experience any of these chittas, no chittas at all, they also don't have kamajarupas from these kammas, so then nothing, no results in asanyasata. Right? And then in arupa also, arupa bhumi, we have no results in the arupa bhumi. Because they do not have these chittas, right? No vatu, so they don't see unpleasant things. Yes. They lack. They lack those faculties, right? Kama sugati, rupa bhumi, arupa bhumi. Okay, finished akusala. Now, kusala. Kusala, we have the Kamma Vachara Kusala. This one has more detail, no? Kamma Vachara Kusala. Okay, Kamma Vachara Kusala, we have to divide it, no? According to Hetu. So we have according to Hetu. Let's put it here. This one according to Hetu. According to Hetu, we have Tihetuka, Dvihetuka. Right? We don't have Ekahetuka, which is Mohamula Chittas, and we don't have Ahetukas. We have Vipaka Ahetukas. But here are the kammas themselves, no? So either Tihetuka or Dvihetuka. And then here, according to quality of this kamma, we can have Omaka, Ukata. And the same for the other. Here, Omaka and Ukata. Okay? Now, this quality is determined by which factors? What decides whether a kamma is omaka, ukata? Okay, the hetu, we know, right? The jnana or not, but this omaka and ukata nature, the quality, is decided by here, the intention, and the second was nivaranas, and the third was remorse. Okay? These determine. For example, intention, if we do kusala kamma, but we want to be famous, some unwholesome intention for doing that action. For example, we want to be famous, or you want to maybe intelligent? You want to be intelligent? No, you want to be famous, or you're doing it to hurt someone, some bad intention. Huh? Swap? What? To show. Kind of like to show off kind of thing. Then it reduces the quality of the kamma. It becomes omaka. Remember the example was, for example, someone running for president, and then he does dana and things like that, but with that intention just of getting people to like him or becoming famous or something. So then it becomes omaka. It's still akusala kamma, but it becomes omaka. Okay? So that's the intention. Okay? If there is no such bad intention, just good intentions, then it can be ukata. Omaka is lower, yeah, omaka is lower quality, ukata is higher quality. Okay? So each of them, tihetuka and duihetuka, can be omaka or ukata. So in the end we have 4. Then the next one was nivarana. For example, if especially during the action, if unwholesome consciousnesses arise, then that brings the kamma to a lower degree, becomes omaka, especially strong nivaranas. Yes, for example, you are doing the dana, but then bhyapada arise during that dana or something like that. Panchapapi?
When she
Yes.
gave the clay
She gave the clay.
to the Patika Buddha,
Yeah, she did something very bad, no? I think she, threw the bowl or something? Offended the Pacheka Buddha, right? What did she do?
offer the clay.
She offered clay to the Pacheka Buddha.
But the first time she thought why Patika Buddha doesn't bring clay by himself. Yes.
Why doesn't he do it by himself?
In my heart, it's angry.
Yes.
Is asked for me. But
Yes, she was angry.
eventually, he also gave.
She eventually gave it.
Yes.
She finally gave it. In the end, she gave it, right? Finally, eventually, she gave it. Yes, then it affected the result, right?
When she reborn,
Hmm?
the eye and the nose is changing place.
Yeah, not in proper place.
But she's upset, very subtle.
Very subtle, very very smooth. Yeah.
Like diba.
This word is smoothie is actually a noun, and smooth is an adjective. It's actually the opposite of what we expect. Yeah. Yes. She had a very fine touch, right? So that's the nivarana. So if there are no nivaranas, then it can help it to be ukata. And then the last one is remorse. If you do the action, even if you do a nice action without nivarana, with a good intention, if later you have remorse about that action, then it will affect it. It will weaken that action to become omaka. Remorse? It's like kukucha. Vipatisara. Remorse. Vipatisara. Oh, I shouldn't have given him something like that. Yeah, why did I do that? 3 period? Yeah, for me this looks like before, you see? During and after, right? Yes, I also think of it like this. Before, during, and after. Yes, before, during, after. Ubachetana, munchana chetana, parachetana.
But after is not very popular. After also can give strong result.
So the kamma is completed over here. This completes.
Complete the
The kamma is complete. It can produce rebirth, for example.
we can say ukata and omaka with two-step intention and nivarana before and during. But after also can be included in the omaka and ukata. If for example 1 day after.
Yeah, 1 day after.
Consider. So
Yeah, you start having remorse about that action. That will make it omaka, yes. Yeah, because it's even though you have already finished that action,
already
ukata, but that aparachetana affects the previous kamma. So you have the ubachetana, Ubachetana, Munchana Chetana, and Aparachetana. These are Chetanas. So the Kamma is complete over here, already complete. But this one affects this Kamma.
become Omaka.
Can make it Omaka.
Can it make
You can make it better. You can make it better, for example. Huh?
it can be make it Ukata also?
If this was Omaka?
Yes.
No. No.
Only reduce, cannot increase.
It can, for example, it can increase, for example, because let's say you do a dana, and this was all okay. Good intention, no nivarana, you do a dana.
And when it become Ukata,
Then it's a normal kamma, okay? Then you don't have remorse, but you remember it with happiness. You remember it many times. It strengthens that kamma. Even it becomes achinna kamma if you do it for a long time, remember? So this aparachetana affects, could be in a good way or in a bad way. But here, if one of those is present, then it's omaka. If you do it, even though you do it without nivarana and without remorse, but if you do it with that bad intention, it's omaka. Okay? Which one will produce the result? No. No. Yeah. If it gives, whatever gives result in this life is that we know it's the first javana. Or in the next life is the seventh javana. We have this understanding, but we don't know what will give a result, right? We don't know which one will give result. Most of the time, no? For example, yes, mostly we're just talking about Kammapata and Janaka Kammas in general. Janaka. We're not talking about Upatambaka, Upapilaka here, Pagataka. We're just talking about Janaka actually. The main function of producing either Chitta Chittasikas or Kamajarupa. No? Okay, so in the Kammavachara Kusala, what about Kammavachara Kusala in Apaya? Let's go in the order of the bhumis. So in Apaya, Patisandhi it cannot produce, right? But Pavati it can, right? So in Pavati, and here it becomes more complex. You have to divide it in this. Have to divide it according to this. So you have Omaka, Dvihetuka. Omaka Dvihetuka. This one, Omaka Dvihetuka, and then we have Omaka. We have then Ukata Dvihetuka, Ukata Dvihetuka, and Omaka Tihetuka. And then you have Ukata Tihetuka. You have to divide the results like this. It's a lot, right? But we are close. We are close. Yeah. For Tanas Akusala here. Yeah, Marana section. No? How many pages left or sections left?
lesson 20, 19,
20. We are 15. Yes.
There is 19 lessons.
19 lessons.
There is 16.
Akusala Kamma we have finished. Kusala Kamma, finish this. Finish this.
We are in results as 16.
16. Maybe not more than 2 class.
No, not more, no?
Till
Defilements, okay, let me add this information. So this defilements present during the action, this is the main reason, here, main reason for like your character, you know? If your character, you know, when it produces result, your kusala is surrounded by lobha, then you will tend to have like a lobha charita, you know? So main reason for charita. Charita. I think I have this word, you can check this, usada kittana. In my notes, usada kittana. I think it's related to this topic. Usada kittana. Hitu sankara and vedana. Okay. Now another 3 factors. Okay, another 3 factors that affect the strength of this kamma, of this kamma vachara kusala kamma, okay? Kamma vachara kusala kamma. Okay? Number 1 and most important is the hetu. Yes. So here, of course, tihetuka is the highest. Is the highest. Okay? Then the second is the sankara. Sankara also affects the strength of the kamma, and then it will determine which chitta will arise, right? These factors. Sankara, the asankarika is highest. Is the highest. Right? And then the third is the vedana. Somanasa tends to be also the highest. Somanasa is the highest. Okay? Later when we come to Rupa Vachara, then it doesn't depend on these things. It depends on idipadas, the strength of these chittas. So these are another 3 factors, okay, that affect the kamma. Now let's go to the results. 8 kusala vipaka hetukas in the apaya bhumi. Yes, 8 kusala vipaka hetukas in the apaya bhumi. Pavati 8 kusala vipaka hetukas. So this I can do like this. 8 kusala vipaka ahetuka chittas. Okay, when encountering good objects in apaya bhumi. Kamasugati bhumi, now we have to divide. Dvihetuka, tihetuka. Okay, kamasugati. So this was the paya. Kamma Sugati. Kamma Sugati. In the Patisandhi moment, Patisandhi Kala. Patisandhi Kala we have Omaka, Dvihetuka produces Ahetuka Patisandhi. Ahetuka Patisandhi. Okay? What is this chitta? Yes, Upeka Santirana. Kusala Vipaka, right? This is the Omaka Dvihetuka. Then we have the Ukata Dvihetuka and the Omaka Tihetuka. This one produces the Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Patisandhi, which are the 4 Jnana Vipayuta Mahavipakas. Right? Yes. Okay. Then Ukata Tihetuka produces the Tihetuka Patisandhi. Patisandhi, which is the 4 Jnana Sampayutta Mahavipakas. So this is in the Patisandhi Kala of the Kamma Sugati, right? And then also plus Kamajarupas. Right? Yes. Kamajarupas, wherever they are born. Okay. This is in the Patisandhi Kala. Then in the Pavati Kala, we're still talking about Kamma Vachara Kusala. Pavati Kala, Kamma Vachara Kusala in the Kamma Sugati. Pavati Kala, 8 Kusala Vipaka Hetuka, Kamajarupa, and then Jnana, yes. Pavati Kala we have Omaka Dvihetuka produces 8 Kusala Vipaka Ahetuka, okay, also produces 8 Mahavipakas, no, and Kamajarupa, I'll put it there, wait, Kamajarupa, okay, Omaka Dvihetuka. Now, Ukata Dvihetuka and Omaka Tihetuka produces also these 8 Kusala Vipaka Hetukas and 4 Jnana Vipayutta Mahavipakas and Kamajarupas. Okay. Now the Ukatati Hetuka Kamma produces 8 Kusala Vipakas Ahetuka and then 8 Mahavipakas and Kamajarupas. So this is what we have to remember over here. This 8 Mahavipakas and this 4 Jnana Vipayutta, you see? This is the difference during Pavati. Okay, in the Rupa Bhumi, still Kamma Vachara Kusala in the Kamma Sugati, I think I can fix it here. Rupa Bhumi, in the Rupa Bhumi, no Patisandhi, right? Because Kamma Vachara Kusala. During Pavati Kala, during Pavati Kala, Chaku and Sota, those, no? Five ahetuka. 5 ahetuka. Okay, because here we have the vipaka hetukas, right? So these vipaka hetukas, we have only Chaku Vijnana, Sota Vijnana, and Sampatichana, and 2 Santiranas, right? So we have here altogether 5 chittas. 5 chittas. Too low for me. So 5 Kusala Vipaka Ahetuka. What about Mahavipakas? Mahavipakas, remember, they are Chatukicha. They can be Patisandhi, Bhavanga Chuti, or Tadaramana. These Rupa Bhumi beings have different Patisandhi, Bhavanga, and Chuti, right? And they have no Tadaramanas. So no Mahavipakas there. And no Kamajarupas either. So this is it for them. This is what the Kamavachara Kusala can produce in the Rupa Bhumi. And this is, of course, except Asanyasata. Except Asanyasata. Then Arupa, no. In the Arupa Bhumi, there is nothing, no? Nothing. No vipakas there. Arupa Bhumi. Okay, I'll try to finish this, no? Or you want to stop?
Result, right? We finish result.
I'll try to finish the results. Let's try to finish. So now we have Rupa, Avachara Kusala Kamma. Okay? Results. In Apaya, no. In the Apaya, there is nothing. What about the Kamasugati? Do we have any results? No. What about Rupa Bhumi? Yes, in Rupa Bhumi we do have, right? Here we have Patisandhi moment and Pavati moment. Pavati. We have the same chittas. First jhana chittas. Okay, remember we have first jhana. First jhana produces first jhana vipaka. In which realm? We had it in the first jhana bhumis, right? Yes, now we just need to open this into a bit more detail. That's the thing. We have to open this up. Open this up because there is 3 types, no? So it can be 3 types according to Iddhipadas. So here it's not the intention or remorse or kilesas, they don't affect these kammas, right? 3 types according to Iddhipada. So you have, instead of omaka, we call it hina. Yes. Majjhima and panita. Panita. Okay? So hina is these jhanas when they are attained or developed with a little lower, weaker Iddhipadas. Remember the Iddhipadas? Chanda, Virya, Chitta, and Vimamsa. Yes. These are the Iddhipadas. So when they are a bit weaker, they are hina. If they are a bit stronger, majjhima. And panita if they are strongest. Okay? This 2 for women. Yeah. Bhante said that women cannot have panita. Women in the human realm. Yes, yes. So women now in the human realm, they will attain jhana. They can develop with hina or majjhima. but they cannot achieve panita.
But man can be free.
Man can be panita, yes. So this shows man usually a bit stronger, a bit stronger mind. Okay? So we have these three types. Now we apply this to over here. So if we have, for example, the first jhana, okay, we have it hina, majjhima, and panita. Okay? Hina produces as vipaka, all produce the same chitta, which is the first jhana vipaka chitta. Okay? So I'll just put it like this. Okay? But if we think about the realm, then it will be different. So hina will produce in Brahma Parisajja. Parisajja. Here it will be Brahma Purohita. And here it will be Mahabrahma. Maha Brahma. Maha Brahma. Okay? So you just have to divide them. Second jhana, hina also, majjhima, and panita. The result will be second jhana vipaka chitta. Okay. And then we'll have the realm. We have parita abha. Yes, this one will be appamanabha. And this one will be abhasara. Abhasara, right? Okay, third jhana. Third jhana, we have hina, majjhima, panita. The vipaka is the same vipaka, which is the third jhana chitta. Third jhana vipaka. Okay, what about the realm? Paritaba, parita abha, appamana abha, and abhasara. Yes, these are the ones we have to remember. Hey, okay. Now, fourth jhana, paritaba, appamanaba, abhasara. Now, parita subha. Yes, parita subha. Appamana subha. Subha kinha. Subha kinha. Okay. Fifth jhana. Hina, majjhima, and panita. The vipaka is the same. Fifth jhana vipaka. And then the realm. Okay, so these are the vipaka. We also have to add kamajarupa, right? Kamajarupa. They also have kamajarupas, right? Kamajarupas and kamajarupas. Okay, now it's okay. Here also we have kamajarupas. Rupas. So let me see. Now, the fifth jhana, what is it? Fifth jhana, three together, yes, produces result in the, okay, fifth jhana vipaka chitta, kamajarupa in vihapala and 5 sudhavasa. So the realm altogether could be vihapala or sudhavasas. Sudhavasa. Yeah. I had no time to review this section. But only anagami palata pugalas who have attained the fifth jhana are reborn in the sudhavasa, right? So let's put this over here. Only anagami. Nagami.
Cannot anagami umakata.
No, magata palata. Magata cannot take patisandi, no magata. Impossible. Then, yes, there is also this distinction. You know, among the Suddhavasas, yes, the Indriyas. Suddhavasas, we have Aviha, Atapa, Sudasa, Sudasi, and Akanita. So this one, according to Indriya. So these are anagamis who have, for example, here Saddha, strong. Saddha, this is Virya. Here is Sati. Here it's Samadhi. And this is Panya, yes. Okay? So if they have prominent, depending on their prominent faculty, they will be reborn in one of these ones. Then, if you develop the fifth jhana with the Chitta Viraga Bhavana, remember this term? Chitta Viraga Bhavana. We have Vitaka Viraga Bhavana, Vichara Viraga Bhavana, Piti Viraga Bhavana, Sukha Viraga Bhavana, and then we have Chitta Viraga Bhavana. So if you do Chitta Viraga Bhavana, don't do it. But if you do, you produce only Kamaja Rupa, Patisandhi and Pavati in the Asanyasata realm, right? So it's over here, right? Realm I'll put here as this is in the Sanyasata, okay? Yes, not good. Okay, I think we have finished. Now Arupa. Results of Arupa? Arupa is each one in their each realm. Even Hina Majjhima Panita, all in the same realm. Right? I think I will not write it down. It's easy to understand. There is here in the notes, Kusaladhamma at that time, he made like a map. So we have this map with everything. You can see. Only thing in the Kamavachara, I think it doesn't show one distinction over there, but it's okay. So the Arupavachara, we have 4 jhanas. They also have Hina, Majjhima, Panita. But the result is the same chitta in the same realm. So it doesn't affect, actually, the result. They're all born in their respective realm. Akasananchayatana, Vinyananchayatana, Kinchanyayatana, Nivasaninasanayatana. Finish. These are the results. Yes. That's it.